a fun little ditty.
Yeah.
Did he or did he not?
He did.
He did.
He done did it. Yeah, so this was the first song off of their double single thing. The first song is called Home. That was the one that you just heard. And then there's one that's called Where the Heart Lies.
Okay.
This one is still under 1,000 streams as of recording, which is insane to me because it's so good. Definitely that, classic pop punk emo vibe that we all know and love,
Takes us back to our roots for sure.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. I really liked it.
Again, really, really punchy, good production. Who was it? Now I have to find the email. Because the person who did the mix and master on this has, I believe, also worked with My Chemical Romance.
Oh, wow.
And several others that I'm now spacing on the name right now.
Insert notable acts here.
Yeah. But I thought that was really cool. I always find it neat when, smaller bands are able to work with those bigger producers and stuff like that to help give them that, very professional sounding production right away.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's interesting. There's a weird, middle ground when it comes to, punk and things like that, where,
you don't want it to sound, too clean. You want to have, that era of still sounding kind of, rugged and, distorted and stuff like that.
Exactly. But there's also, a weird, kind of middle ground where, if you produce it yourself in a bedroom, you can lean into that, and it's very punky.
Yeah.
Because you've got this...
The DIY.
This very DIY raw kind of sound. But it's really funny when you get into the upper level of that, but not quite into the professional studio stuff like this is.
Yeah.
That I find kind of it's almost like a weird uncanny valley where it's not quite good enough to be the professional stuff, but it doesn't have the DIY charm anymore either.
Yeah.
And I think that's also something that I've gone through a little bit, which is the more you learn how to do stuff, sometimes you don't act on instinct as much.
Yeah.
And so you have to learn to balance instinct versus technical knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked that a lot. Kind of I feel like I said this about the first track, but it's familiar and comforting, but its own new thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Again, where you're I like this, and I feel like, I can rely on this to, put me in a good headspace when I listen to it.
I think even if that's a statement that you keep coming back to, I think that's still a good thing. That, it's cool to have music that's fresh, but also sounds familiar, because it's not necessarily sometimes new styles of music, you almost have to work a little bit to get the full enjoyment out of it the first time. A lot of the time when I hear a hyperpop song or something like that, it's there are things that I can enjoy about it, but I have to work at it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm necessarily going to put on all the time as just oh yeah, this is music that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, totally. I get it. It's like watching shows too. You're you have your comfort shows because you're I know I'm going to enjoy this. I don't have to work to pay attention to the storyline because I've never seen it before, so I don't know what's going to happen. And yeah.
I have trouble with serious dramas sometimes. Once I'm into it.
For sure.
But it's starting a new drama show.
Yeah.
And I'm I don't want to put that much mental effort right now into watching a show and
weird?
figuring out who these characters
For
are.
real. Yeah,
this is my relaxation time. I know who these people are, so I'm just going to keep watching this show that I've been watching for 10 years.
It's hanging out with your friends versus total strangers.
Yeah, no, exactly. No,
so it's a good thing.
I think that these musical analogies that we're coming up with cinema and just
craft
beer and whatever. I think that it's really fun. Have you ever heard of the Ghost Notes podcast?
No, I have not actually.
Okay, so it's two music YouTubers, Polyphonic and 12 Tone.
Okay.
One does more music theory type stuff, and then the other one does music culture videos basically.
Okay.
But they did a really interesting episode talking about musical metaphor and all of the words that we use to describe music that aren't inherently musical.
Okay.
And I thought that it was fascinating, the fact that low, we know that means bass.
Yeah.
But that it doesn't necessarily, it's not a direct correlation.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's really interesting. If you're looking for other music-related podcasts to check out, highly recommend Ghost Notes. Very good podcast. They release about once a month.
Nice. I'm always looking for new music podcasts because it's like, I listen to like mostly stand-up comedy podcasts just for fun entertainment. And I'm like, that's fun and all, but then they start getting into like the behind the scenes and like the how the sausage is made type stuff with comedy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want that with music though. Like the music industry more. Yeah, because that's my bread and butter. Like I love to laugh, but I'm not a stand-up comedian. So it's like, that's kind of, I don't want to say totally lost on me, but I'm like, I want more industry inside stuff of music stuff.
Yeah. Highly recommend checking that out. As well as, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to 2 other DIY music podcasts. Beers with Bands and 5 at the Door are 2 podcasts that are run by guys that I've become friends with on Twitter. Both really cool dudes. Huge shout out.
Nice. Beers with Bands sounds awesome.
It's so
I want to be a part of it.
You need to check it out. They are awesome.
Heck yeah.
So what is our next tune going to be?
Oh yeah, I guess it's bouncing back to me, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so here's where we're going to do my really good friend Phrey. I have to put a spotlight on him because he is just, the progression that he has made with his music since we met is awesome. Like he has seriously progressed like tenfold since I think I met him probably about just over a year ago now. Mm-hmm. But the stuff that he was showing me then and like his releases at the time versus what he's been putting out lately and what he's working on now, like his unreleased stuff, I'm like, you have seriously just exponentially grown like since I met you. So I do want to talk about though his latest EP that he just put out, and the song in particular is Conversation, and then we'll talk about it after we listen to it.